Hi everyone, I'm Rockin' Robin, and today I'm going to show you how to make a breakfast recipe that is one of my favorites. I make this probably once a week at least. Anyway, so what it is it's an egg dish with potatoes and fresh herbs, and we're going to top it off with some Parmesan cheese and some garlic, and we're going to broil it in the oven. So it comes out, your eggs are going to come out either over easy or over medium depending on how you like it. So don't go away, we'll be right back and I'll tell you all about how to do it. So let's go over our ingredients so we can get started. We're going to need a couple of eggs. Mine happen to be farm fresh eggs. These are from my neighbor and they give them to me and they're nice and fresh, so I love that. We're going to need a couple of different things here. Well, you can use either a sweet potato if you like that, or you can use some little, these are red potatoes, or you can use the gold. We just need a little bit here, so that's why I have these tiny ones, so that's up to you. We'll need some butter here, which I'm going to melt, some turmeric, salt and pepper. I have 1 clove of garlic and my fresh herbs. Now you really want to use fresh herbs for this because dried herbs just won't make it taste very good. So I've got some fresh basil out of my garden. Here is some thyme, rosemary, and Italian parsley. And the last thing we'll need is some Parmesan cheese. We're going to start off by chopping up our herbs. So I'm going to start with the rosemary. Alright, so just take the leaves and I'm gonna pull back on them like this and just take off a few. We don't need to use too much rosemary because it is a little bit powerful. So for my one individual serving, I'll just chop up this much. Okay, so that looks like that's about fine enough. So I'm just gonna scoop that up and place it right here in my little dish. Okay, so let's do the thyme. Same kind of thing. Just pull off these little leaves. And then we're going to chop this up the same way as we did the rosemary, nice and fine. Okay, that looks good, nice and fine. Again, we'll scoop that up, put it in with the rosemary. And now I'm going to go to the parsley. So I'm going to take off most of the stems. I don't want those in there, so I'll just peel that off. And like I said earlier, you really need to use fresh herbs. I grow these in my yard, and this time of year I have an abundant supply, and it makes a huge difference, especially in this recipe. So I really like a lot of parsley, so I'm going to chop up a bunch. And this I won't be cutting quite as finely as the other, but okay, so that looks, that's fine enough for the parsley. Now I'm going to put the parsley in a different dish because the parsley is a much milder herb, and I'm going to use a little more of that. And I may not use all of the rosemary and the thyme, which is quite a bit stronger. And I'm going to add the basil. So here are my basil leaves. I'm going to stack them on top of each other, roll it up tightly. I just find this is an easy way to chop up basil. Cut it into little ribbons, and then I'm going to cut it again because I want smaller pieces. So I'll go across this way. Oh, I love the smell of basil. It is amazing. So next we want to work on our potato. I'm going to be using a sweet potato today because that's kind of what I'm in the mood for. And you can use, like I said, whatever kind of potato you like. So I don't need too much here, but we'll cut off this much. And I'm just going to trim it up. Take off the skin. Alright, so once we get that, then we want to make our slices very thin so that this will cook up quickly. So we're going to cut them quite thin like that. They're like little coins. And I'm just going to use enough of them to line the bottom of my dish. And I'll show you what that dish looks like in just a minute. You need an oven-proof dish. Here's my dish, right here. And I'm going to melt that butter, and as soon as I melt the butter, we'll start lining it with our sweet potatoes. So now what I'm going to do is take the melted butter, and I'm going to brush the bottom of the dish and the sides pretty generously. This way the potatoes won't stick. Alright, so we'll do that. And then once that's in there, we can start laying our sweet potatoes in there in the bottom. So just place them single layer. And then I'm going to put some more butter on top. And just use your finger to kind of hold them. They're going to kind of flop around a little bit, but just put that in there. Cover each piece, and then I'm going to put a little bit more butter, just going to kind of drip it around the edge so that it falls back down in the bottom. Okay, so that should do it. So now I'm ready to put our potatoes in the oven to cook them for about 3 to 4 minutes. But I want to show you, I've got this on broil, and I've got my rack on the second level, not the top level. We want this to be about between 6 to 8 inches below the heating element. So it's been 5 minutes. I checked at 3 and it wasn't quite ready, so let's check it at 5. Now what you want to do is take your fork and push it into your potato. That one was my thickest one, and it's almost done. So it's going to vary depending on how thick your slices are, but I think that's good. So we're going to take this out and add the rest of our ingredients. Okay, so I got it out of the oven. Now we're ready to add the rest of our ingredients. So I'm going to start with a little bit of turmeric, and I'm going to sprinkle it over the potatoes, just like that. All right, just a little bit of salt, just a little bit of salt in there. And now we're going to add our eggs. So I've got my eggs here in this bowl. I've already cracked them so that they're easy to go into the dish. Okay, so we pour them in. And now we're going to add the rest of our ingredients. So we're going to add our rosemary, sprinkle that all around, spread it around as best you can. And you want to use a fair amount of herbs here because it really makes it delicious. Okay, so sprinkle that on. Now I'm going to do the parsley and the basil. Just like that. Now I've got my garlic in a garlic press, and I'm going to squeeze it out a little bit, and I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to kind of sprinkle it around as best you can on the eggs. Just like that. So get some in there. Oopsie, a little too much there. I like garlic. Okay. Then we're going to do a little more salt on top, a little pepper, and we're going to finish it off with some Parmesan cheese. And this is going to give it a nice little coating as it cooks, and it's going to turn a nice golden brown. So I'm going to put about a tablespoon of Parm on top, just like that. Now, this goes back in the oven under the broiler, and it's going to vary depending on how done you like your eggs. I like mine medium. So I'm going to leave this in there for probably 5 minutes. Okay, so I've taken this out at about 4.5 minutes, and look at this nice golden brown. That's from the Parmesan cheese up there. It smells amazing in my kitchen. Wow, look at that. It looks fabulous. I'm going to go ahead and take a taste. Man, that is so good. The fresh herbs, it's got a very fresh flavor. I can taste the sweet potatoes, everything, and the Parmesan cheese. I like that little crusty top on there. Anyway, guys, you gotta try this. It's delicious, and especially if you're growing fresh herbs, definitely give this a try. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure and subscribe to my channel by clicking that link up there, and leave me a comment and let me know how you like this recipe. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.